All right. Hi, you guys. Welcome to our this is for Road to Greatness. And this is part of You Can't Clip My Wings, which I need to share this on You Can't Clip My Wings. I can do it on here. Um, so we're going to talk about adult bullying today. And anybody who let me share this real quick here. Okay. Let's see. Let's go over here. Okay, here we go. So I need to share this. I need to share this over here in a group. Hello, Miss Agnes. Okay. All right. Okay. So today we're talking about this is from my other little thing I do. I call it a little thing. With You Can't Clip My Wings. And I wanted to talk about recognizing adult bullying. And I know everybody has probably dealt with adult bullying, probably in the workplace, maybe at home. And sometimes they don't know what to do. Okay. They don't know how to handle it. Sometimes people don't really know how to recognize adult bullying. And it's sad that they don't. But there are people out there who actually do not know how to recognize when they're being bullied. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Um, so let so we have a little panel here. Some of our people comes in and they want to hear about this. I shared it over on You Can't Clip My Wings and on both of my YouTube channel and my regular Facebook page. So if you want to share that with someone, you may. But I think this is very good information to talk about this. Okay, so we're going to talk about understanding adult bullying, causes, effects, and solutions. Okay. Um, so it says here, wait a minute, this thing is moving too fast for me. Let me take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Stop right there. Okay. So what it says here, it says the definition of adult bullying. First, before I give my definition, I would like to hear you guys' definition of adult bullying. How do you see adult bullying? Anybody want to tackle that?
It's like harassment. It's just being harassed.
Okay.
For no reason.
Okay. What else?
And they just harass you. Just want to get you in a corner and just being intimidating.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Is there anything else you want to add to that?
I can't think of anything else.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it's basically saying that adult bullying refers to repeated, intentional behaviors by an individual or group aimed at intimidating, humiliating, or harming another adult. Unlike childhood bullying, adult bullying often occurs mostly in professional, social, or community settings and can take various forms, including verbal, social, physical, and cyberbullying. It involves a power imbalance where the bully exerts control over the victim through aggression, coercion, and manipulation. Wow. So it says, so do you know?
Controlling.
Yeah, controlling. Yes, exactly. And it can be physical too at some point. Okay, so
physical and mental.
Yes, exactly. So do you know the difference between bullying and conflict?
Conflict is you going at each other.
Okay.
Bullying is like a everyday thing.
Okay. So it says that with bullying, power imbalance, these are the points, bullet points of bullying. They're talking about power imbalance. Bullying involves an imbalance of power where the bully has more power, social, physical, or hierarchical, that's what the word I was trying to say, over the victim. Intentional harm, the actions are deliberate and intended to cause harm, distress, or fear. Uh, Repetition is bullying behaviors repeated over time, creating a pattern of abuse. And then it says the impact on the victim is the victim often feels threatened, powerless, and unable to defend themselves effectively. And then we talk about types of bullying. This again talks about verbal, it talks about social, and it talks about physical intimidation. Okay. Then it says when you talk about the difference is with let me see, let me do this. Let me see if I can move this out my way. It won't move out my way. So it's talking about conflict. Okay. Conflict is equal power. I got to do this differently. Hold up. Let me do this differently. Let's see. Okay. I wonder why I can't do that. Toggle force, but that doesn't help me. Okay. That's not what I want. But anyway, so it's talking about equal power generally occurs. Let's see. Y'all give me a chance here. I'm trying to get this off my screen. I can't move it out my way. Okay, let's see here. Oops, into the wrong thing. Go back. Okay. Let me go back over here and pull it up again. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. So when we talk about conflict, mutual disagreement, equal power, single incident or ongoing, resolution possible, and impact on participants. So those are the bullet parts of a conflict opposed to the bullet parts of a bully. Okay. So next, let's talk about examples. Can you give me an example of bullying and can you give me an example of a conflict?
Bullying is repeated behavior like a supervisor can bully an employee by verbiage, constantly criticizing them and doing it in front of people, intimidating. With a conflict, we just, I say yes, you say no, but there at some point there can be a happy medium to solve that conflict. Neither of the individuals may get 100% of what they want, but you have ground for compromising.
Gotcha. Okay, I like that. I like that answer. Good. Okay. And when you address each issue, how do you address each one of those issues?
Well, a conflict, you can sometimes, if two individuals are mature enough and sit down and have that conversation with understanding and the ability to comprehend and understand and talk about it, you can, most of the time you can resolve a conflict. But when it's bullying, you need to get higher ups involved because the person who feels that they have the upper hand, they're going to continue and continue and continue. And and then it becomes sometimes physical altercations, violence is interject to the situation, or someone end up being fired because the bully.
You just constantly pick every day.
Right, but like you say, it's something they're gonna find a way because they feel like they have the upper hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's talk again about the types of adult bullying. Can somebody give me the types of a verbal, social, cyberbullying, and physical?
I give you a verbal.
Go ahead.
Verbal bullying is when they get in your face and tell you all kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Somebody give
And
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
with the bullying, it's not really, it's not it's verbal, but it hurts. It hurts to the bone what they are saying.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's adult. Yeah, like she said, it can be verbal, and it could be the spread of gossip or malicious rumors that are not true about that person.
Yeah.
And even on social, like a lot of children, but we said adults. So with adults, it could be harassing emails coming through to a person when they didn't ask you to stop, what they'll do, like you say, well, please don't email me or don't text me. And then they start using different email addresses or telephone numbers to get in touch with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Physical is when they put their hands on you or cause some type of harm.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You did them all. Social bullying and exclusion. Don't forget when they exclude you from things. You said gossip, and then damaging someone's reputation by talking about them and saying things that are not true. Gossip and damaging someone's reputation, I guess, goes together. And then cyberbullying, you said online harassment, abuse, you said that. And then physical is when you put your hands on somebody or you threaten to put your hands on somebody.
Yeah,
Great.
keep threatening. I'm gonna get you.
Exactly. So let's talk about causes of adult bullying. Where do you think this comes from?
A person
No
who
idea.
adult bullying comes from an individual who has most of the time it could be a narcissist,
Okay.
and that's
Okay.
just trying to keep control over a person.
Okay.
Or it could be a person who has self-esteem issues.
Mm-hmm.
They are not satisfied with who they are, so their reaction is to bully other people to make them feel a bit bad about themselves.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So you just talked about psychological factors. There's insecurity, need for power, and past experiences.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about the social factors, what are we talking about when we talk about social factors?
That is someone whose a social situation is, I want everybody to think that I'm up here and they down here,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but I'm really not there.
Okay.
You put on airs and shows for other people, but in the meantime, you're still mean and nasty to people.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So social factors also talk about work environment, the cultural norms, and group dynamics. You know how cliques, when we talk about group dynamics, we talk about cliques. Okay. So people get together and pile up on one person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That if you fit in a certain group of people. And also we look at cultural norms. What are some of the corporate cultural norms that adults get? Somebody don't like you because maybe you're Muslim or you eat different than they do, or you do things differently. And most of the time we find that in our work environments, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so what is some economic factors?
Oh, I got no money.
Okay, and what else?
Girl, I just bought me a
Mercedes.
new car, and I live
Charles Park or whatever the
Yeah.
those
Okay.
areas like that. And you live over there in Willoughby, and I'm just calling them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So what about your job? Do you have problems that would be an economic factor?
The job. You have a boss say, that's why I make the big bucks is because I know more than you.
Okay. So you're talking job competition and financial stress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. You guys are sharp. Okay.
No.
So let's talk about the effects on victims. So somebody tell me some of the effects on a victim who's being bullied. I don't like to use the word victim, but it's set up to say victim. So give me some effects of victims who are being bullied.
Nervousness.
Okay.
Anxiety, depression.
Mhm.
You feel like
You lost.
you can't like you don't know anything, like you're dumb now, like you second guess your ability to do things
Okay. Okay.
on a job.
Okay. 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 All right. So you talked about the emotional effects, anxiety, depression, low self-esteem. What are some of the physical effects?
Somebody come up to you and hit you.
No, the physical effects could be you starting to have health issues,
Yeah, there you go.
Headache. That's right.
That's right.
problems, like people
Maybe headaches.
Yes.
feel migraines or
Yes. That's right.
A stomach problem.
Yes.
Stress.
That's right. That's it. You named every one of them.
Stomach start hurting. You don't want to go into the job, but you know you have to go in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
diarrhea.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's exactly right. So what are some of the professional effects?
Poor work performance.
That's right. And what else?
Because you're so worried now, am I doing this right? You start to second, triple guess.
Yourself.
You're not a productive employee because you constantly rewind and going back over the whatever you've done over and over and over and over and over again to make sure that it's
correct.
Okay. And what else?
You start having withdrawals from the place. The call-in rate becomes a big factor because once
Exactly.
people start feeling like that, they don't want to come to work, so they start calling in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Take the work productivity. Now other people have to pick up and do your work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then they get upset with you because you're not coming in. But you don't feel good. You know, you have migraines and you have the stomach hurting and you got diarrhea. You don't want to go in to work like that. And then they get upset with you because you didn't show up.
Exactly. That's right. You're right. You're 100%.
Wow.
You guys on it. Y'all know some stuff. I like that. Okay.
It's everything that happened to me and still happening.
Okay. So
Well,
go ahead.
You gotta calm yourself down. Now's the time to calm yourself down. You know you don't have to go nowhere. Yeah, you can calm yourself down.
Exactly. Okay.
But now,
Go ahead.
now it's the stress from losing everything, no income, no insurance, credit rating is about to go down.
Yeah.
Just everything.
But I'm gonna put you in a different mindset. Sometimes we have been shown over and over and over and over and over and over and over again that it's time for us, as I say, for us to move. But we won't do it due to fear. I have to tell you this story. I have a friend that's here. He was a he was a probation for years and years. But that wasn't as a lot of times I tell people, that's not your calling or where your attention should have been.
Mm-hmm.
So he ended up getting fired. They got a new supervisor. They would clash all the time. So he ended up getting fired. If he would have never gotten fired, he wouldn't be doing what he do today. The job that never feels like work. He makes over $300,000 a year.
That's true.
So somebody had made the situation perplexed and cramped for him to make a move. But if it happened, he would have still been working for somebody else.
That's right.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah.
You got to look at the bigger picture sometimes. So sometimes we have to be testified to get to the spot in life where we're supposed to be. Every job is not really meant for us.
Right.
Your time probably has passed, but you got complacent.
Yeah.
And not want to move because we get comfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And we accept everything that comes with it.
As time go on, like you said, if I hadn't got fired, he said I'd still been right there working for the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I want to, I go to bed when I want to. I go to work when I want to.
Yeah.
He builds what they call custom homes, and the average one of those homes is $850,000 minimum.
Awesome. Wow. So yeah, you're right. You're right. You're so right. You have to know that you want that change, and you have to go through some, and God makes you uncomfortable, not getting religious on you. The Spirit will make you uncomfortable, and he'll shake some stuff up when it's time for you to move around. When it's time for you to move around, he'll shake you up. He'll move you around. He'll push you around, and it's not bullying. He's trying to get your attention.
Right.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, always for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. So it says recognizing adult bullying, signs of bullying. Give me some signs of bullying, signs of active bullying.
What was your question? I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's
being pushed around.
Okay, signs of bullying. What are some of the signs of bullying? We talked about causes, we talked about everything. Now we're talking about signs. How do you recognize signs of bullying?
When the person keeps basically a form of harassment for nothing. Most of the time, not even, and then they focus on you and not everybody else.
Yes,
if other people can do the same thing that you've done, but they're not going to say anything to that person, but they're going to call you to cause it on it.
Exactly. Okay. So unexplained injuries, because we're talking all of signs. We're talking about the physical, the emotional, and the psychological. So we're saying unexplained injuries or changes in behavior, frequent complaints about specific individuals or at work situations, visible stress or reluctance to go to work. Remember, we talked about absenteeism, social events. You don't want to go nowhere, so you don't want to be where there might be a possibility that you meet up on that person. Okay, so you want to avoid all that. So you find yourself cocooning yourself in your home, barricading yourself in your home. Don't want to be around nobody. Don't want to talk to anybody. And this is the end result of you being bullied. But again, you have to recognize it. This is recognizing it. When you see these type of different signs, then you know, wait a minute, something ain't right. I don't want to go to work and I love my job. Wait a minute, when I go to work, I don't feel good. No. And then when I gave you guys example of one of the nurses when I was working at the VA, how one of the nurses was harassing me, and she was actually bullying me. And when I told the right people, nothing was done. And I did all the things that I was supposed to do, but it still didn't do anything because of who she was and because of her position.
Yeah.
So I decided to apply and go into another department. Eventually, she got in trouble later down the road because everybody was shielding her. She wound up getting in trouble, and they wind up moving her somewhere else. Okay. So that is a sign. And I love my job. I love my veterans, but I hated when she was my nurse. And I couldn't stand dealing with her. And it did make my job stressful, even when I told everybody that she was doing these things. So yeah. Okay. So let's talk about case studies. So hold up. I knew I was going to do that. Give me a second here. Okay. So it says here we have this case study number 1. We're talking about verbal bullying in a corporate environment. So this is an example. It says here, Sarah is a marketing manager at a large corporation. Experienced repeated verbal abuse from her supervisor, John. He would often criticize her work harshly in front of colleagues, make sarcastic remarks about her abilities, and belittle her contributions during team meetings. So this is what happened. The incident. During a critical project presentation, John publicly accused Sarah of incompetence, calling her useless and claiming she was holding the team back. This public humiliation left Sarah embarrassed and anxious about attending future meetings. So how do you think, what type of impact was that also, what type of impact did that add to her already when he had been treating her like this? What else do you think that she was suffering from?
Verbal abuse.
Okay. What else?
Emotional. That's
Mhm.
emotional.
What else?
As you say, bullying. It was psychological bullying. But it can get physical. But she probably started having some issues with, like repeating work, the work performance, having to repeat what she done to make sure it was done correctly. So it's caused a waste of time because she's having to do this.
Yeah. Okay. So
it's her fear.
Okay. So what do you think would have been a resolution to this? Give me a resolution, a problem solved. How would you solve this?
Is she reported?
Okay. All right.
Make a formal report by putting it in black and white.
Okay.
And get them to sign it.
Okay. What else
that
could
you
you do?
did turn that person in.
Okay. So what else could she do?
And you just like you walked through that door and got that job, you can find another one.
Okay. But do you think right at that very moment she could leave the job?
No.
Okay.
So that's at the very moment.
Okay.
She still can go to work, but she still can be looking for another job too.
Okay.
They could have moved off that team with him and reassigned.
There you go. That's right. They could reassign her to a different team. That's right. That is awesome. You did good, you guys. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so we got another one. This is pertaining to social bullying in a tech startup. Tom, a software developer at a tech startup, was systematically excluded by a group of his peers led by the senior developer, Lisa. The group would deliberately leave Tom out of important meetings, social gatherings, and email chains, isolating him from key aspects of the team's work and social interactions. So an incident happened. Tom discovered that he had been left out of an email thread discussing critical updates to a project he was leading. This exclusion resulted in significant delays and mistakes in the project for which he was unfairly blamed. So how did that make Tom feel?
Well, it made him
mad, really.
And being excluded, and then he'd have to take the brunt of the blame because he was excluded. And
they did that on purpose.
Yeah, and the onus was on him for the mistakes that were made.
Exactly. So did that affect his job performance?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I don't know who he can trust.
Exactly. Now, also with that, said earlier.
Conflict within the group.
Exactly. You also said earlier, Miss Agnes, about leaving. So he contemplated about leaving the company altogether. Now, how would
It can get so bad, you just walk out.
you just walk out? That's right. So how would you resolve this problem?
It's a group discussion needs to be had.
Okay.
You start calling names, and most of the time, when you start pointing fingers and calling names, the bully or the bullies, they put back down because that's their role as a bully. They cowards most of the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they get scared that they're gonna lose their job.
It only works for a little while.
Exactly. Okay.
It only works for a short period.
So you think he should have documented this and then had it investigated?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's good. And so what he has to do is he's proving that he was excluded. So he has to prove in the investigation that he was being excluded out of everything. And if that's what the investigation comes up with, the end result of the investigation, then he can move forward and do whatever else needs to be done. And that's when the company gets involved and start the CEO or whoever's in charge gets involved to see that this doesn't happen again. Okay, so we have another case study. Let's talk about cyber bullying in remote work settings. Anybody knows about working remote? I know somebody on here do.
Work from home?
Yeah, work from home. That's remote. Yeah, exactly. So it says Emma, an employee at a digital marketing firm, worked remotely and was targeted by her colleague Mike through cyberbullying. Mike would send harassing messages via email and the company's messaging platform, making derogatory comments about her work and her personal life. Mike sent an email to Emma late at night with subject lines like, "You are a failure," and messages criticizing her work ethic and accusing her of not pulling her weight in the team. He also spread rumors about her in the group chats, leading to further isolation from her colleagues. How did you think this impacted her?
What was the question? I'm sorry. What was the question at the end?
It says, I said, he also spread rumors about her in a group chat, leading to further isolation from her colleagues. How did this impact her?
That's a negative impact because now he's putting, that's,
We could just sign for that.
right. And malicious gossip.
Okay. Okay. What else? How did it affect her?
It's harassment.
Okay.
And then, and another thing, he's sending them after hours. So why are you using the job computer to do stuff like that?
Okay. And what else? How?
That's violation. And also, something I thought about a few minutes ago and I forgot. I forgot.
Think about how it affected her.
You print out what he sent her and bring it to her boss.
Not just that, what I would also do is blind copy. When I would use a reply to all, whoever's on the email, and then blind copy myself at home and whoever my supervisor and their supervisor is.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so how did it physically, that's what I was saying, physically affect her?
She probably had headaches and medical.
Okay, cool. That's good.
Because when you pull up your email, you don't know who it is, and it makes you nervous.
Okay, exactly. You don't know.
I felt like for stalking her too, outside.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing that late at night, taking up that much time, he got problems himself. They need to do a psyche bab on his
behind. That's right. That's right. And the idea that she also considered resigning. So that's the second person who wanted to resign. Now, how would you solve that? What would be the recommendation to solve that?
I would, like I said, I would provide those emails to my supervisor, and if you have a chief officer of the whatever facility, I would get them involved.
Okay.
I would get the youth involved if I had a union.
Okay.
I would get the security or the police or whoever involved. I would turn it over to the police
Okay.
and take it from that's a felony. Cyberbullying is a felony now.
Sure is.
Yeah.
You go jail for
So everything you said was correct. Mike got fired. Once she turned in all her information, once she did all that, she had all the evidence she needed. He got fired. Okay.
On the paper trail.
Yeah.
Paper trail.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
That's why I always say, Leo, paper trail.
Have that paper trail. That paper trail is very, very important. Now, the last one is physical intimidation. Huh? I'm sorry. What you said, babe?
When you send stuff through email, you can't recant them.
You can't recant them. That's right. So this one is physical intimidation in a manufacturing plant. Carlos, a machine operator in a manufacturing plant, was physically intimidated by his coworker, Steve. Steve would often invade Carlos' personal space, use threatening body language, and make aggressive gestures to assert dominance. One day, during a shift change, Steve cornered Carlos in the locker room, pushed him against the lockers, and warned him to stay out of his way or face physical consequences. This incident was witnessed by another employee who reported it to the plant manager. So how did this impact Carlos?
Really, to be honest with you, I have my phone on. I go live on that.
Okay, but what if you don't have your phone?
Well,
How do you think this
Yeah.
impacted
you
him?
have to tell the supervisor.
Okay,
Many times those facilities have cameras in there, they can pull back.
Yeah, it can roll back the camera.
okay. So I'm speaking of how did this impact him physically? How did it impact him mentally? How did this incident impact him?
Oh, he go home and he wants to fuss and fight because he had a bad day.
Okay. So do you think he felt that the place that he worked at was unsafe?
Yes, because
Okay.
it's a physical, mental, and emotional
Okay.
situation that's happening.
Okay. So
You can't do nothing about it.
okay. So how do you
So-
think his productivity went? How do you think he was doing with his productivity?
His productivity probably dropped down to very low. The performance was very low.
Okay.
Down.
What else would he ask? Would you think he request days off?
Yes, he probably
Okay.
started calling in or requesting time off.
Okay.
A lot of times they don't request time off because they bully them with that and not give them time, so they end up calling in.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Great. Okay. So the resolution, let's talk about a resolution. What do you think happened? Now, you remember now he had a witness. So what do you think happened?
He probably had the witness to come testify in his behalf.
Okay. And what else do you think happened to Steve?
Some people probably got reassigned or fired.
Okay, good. He was suspended pending the investigation. And in the result of that, they start implementing different protocols for safety and bullying in the workplace. Okay. So, and they made it stricter. So if you were doing that and somebody reported it and they have, they've done the investigation, then guaranteed you're going to go to the house. Okay. Cause it's not, it doesn't take that to work. And obviously Steve had some power problems. Okay. He had some serious problems. Some power control problems. So here's legal and organizational policies. The anti-bullying laws, overview of relevant laws and protections, company policy, examples of workplace and anti-bullying policies and reporting procedures. So in the United States, they have what you call workplace bullying. It's Title 6, excuse me, 7 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, while not specifically addressing bullying, this act prohibits employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Bullying that involves discrimination can fall under this act, okay? Occupational Safety and Health Act, OSHA of 1970. Employers are required to provide a safe working environment. Severe bullying that threatens safety may be addressed under OSHA. I didn't know that. You have state laws. Some state laws talk about bullying in the workplace. California has one called the AB 2053, and it requires all employees to include any type of manufacturing to be able to have a in place to deal with bullying. Okay, and then you
I could see OSHA having that because that's a safety hazard because you're dealing with, usually OSHA deals with a lot of times with chemicals and high-power equipment.
Yes.
And they don't want someone that's mentally, like you say, being bullied or something like that, trying to operate those chemicals or those equipment.
Exactly. Exactly. And I advise you to look up also your state laws dealing with bullying, just in case that you come across something like that. We could talk about EOC. EOC is not on here, which it should have been. EOC, talking to representatives from EOC to help, to guide you in the right direction if this is because it's a form of discrimination. So that's why it's under
EOC. 29 minutes wait.
Okay. Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act also again talks about bullying up under discrimination. Okay. Then they were talking about school bullying, which we're not talking about that. But all 50 states should have something pertaining to bullying in their laws, in their state laws. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So strategies for prevention and intervention. Prevention. So what could be some of the preventions that we could think about when it comes to adult bullying that we could come up with?
Education, have education seminars about bullying. That's right. Telling them what bullying it is, providing them examples, and you make them sign off on paperwork that they have received the bullying training.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's right. That's right. What is something else? What is something else?
Sign off on it. Keep it for your record.
So what do you, okay, so.
And the training must be done annually.
Okay.
The training needs to be done annually because people get complacent and lazy and forget.
Okay. So do you think it's important for CEOs, supervisors, managers to promote a positive work environment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do too.
Okay.
They're the main ones they need to because they are the leader.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. So what could be some?
And they need to be checked. They need to be checked off also about.
That's right.
Exactly.
And a lot of them, like you sitting down at your desk, they come behind your back and try to touch you and stuff. That's when you turn in right away.
Exactly. So what about interventions? Let's talk about interventions. What could be some examples of intervention with adult bullying?
Turn it in.
Okay, that's reporting.
If they don't do nothing about it, call EEO.
Okay.
EEOC.
Okay, so you said report, that would be considered a reporting mechanism, a support system for victims.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be touched.
Exactly. So having or harassed, that's right. So you talk about a support system for victims, right? And then conflict resolution, having a person who can either mediate or know, who are very familiar with or are experienced in conflict resolution. Those are your interventions when it comes to adult bullying. Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
You should have a department now that deals with that.
Exactly.
Wow.
So when we talk about supporting victims, resources, what type of resources should we have?
Go to a psychiatrist.
Okay.
If you get there.
Employee assistance program.
Exactly. Okay.
EPA department.
Yeah. Okay. So
EAP, I'm sorry.
yeah. Okay. So we're saying counseling and support groups. What about helplines or online resources? Having a number they can call, right? And talk to someone, right? And what about legal assistance if you have to sue somebody? You think that would be a way to support victims, having those resources available?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know it's in the back of your mind. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, I'm saying if you end up suing somebody, that'll send a message to the other people that they don't want to be involved or get caught up like that.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Exactly. Counseling and support groups for adult bullying. And support systems include counseling and support groups play a crucial role in helping victims of bullying recover and regain their confidence. These resources offer emotional support, practical advice, and coping strategies. Here are the various types of counseling and support groups available for individuals affected by bullying. You have individual counseling, that's personalized support tailored to the individual's specific experiences and emotional needs. Confidentiality, that's very important, provides a safe space for victims to express their feelings and fears without judgment. You have professional guidance. It helps in developing coping strategies, improving self-esteem, and addressing any mental health issues resulting from bullying. Okay, those are the things we could do. Some examples is having a licensed therapist on call or at your facility already there so that you can talk. Ms. Summer, you just said employee assistance program. Remember we talked about that earlier. You just said it, and those are one of the the things that they can have in place for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys are smart. You guys are smart.
No.
Okay.
Summer is the one that's smart.
So go ahead.
No, I'm finished.
Okay. So it says support groups benefits. Peer groups. So peer support connects individuals with others who have experienced similar situations, reducing feelings of isolation. Shared experiences. Participants can share their stories, offer advice, and provide mutual encouragement. Community building helps in building a supportive network that can extend beyond the group session. So you want to have that. You can even, doesn't necessarily have to be at work. It could be locally. You can create a group. It's easy to create a group that's dealing with adult bullying, and you become, you guys have shared experiences, so it's easy for you guys to be able to talk about your experience with bullying. Then also you think about the idea of confidentiality, talking to like-minded people about some of the things that you've experienced, and then having someone be able to not only be a support system, but someone there to kind of counsel you, having a counsel person in your group that can, kind of guide you on how to deal with it once it's happened, okay, and how to prevent it from happening again, because that's not fair. People shouldn't have to go through that.
That's right.
Okay, they have specialized programs. And this is main for, I'm going to talk about, not about school, we're going to talk about workplace. They have bullying prevention workshops, because you talked about that earlier, Miss Summer, about having training and educate the employees about bullying and its effects on how to deal with it. I know, for example, when I was at the VA, one of the classes that I actually instructed on was talking about sexual harassment, but it was also dealing with bullying, because sexual harassment and bullying kind of go hand in hand. So it had those elements to it, and you have to address it, even though it might not be in that training right then and there, but it should be part of something that you add on there when you're discussing that, or when you're teaching a class on it. So that's important. Let's see. So it says national and international organizations that deal with bullying. In the United States, the National Bullying Prevention Center offers resources and support for bullying prevention and provides a list of counseling services and support groups. Stopbullying.gov. Wow, I didn't know that. So they have a website called stopbullying.gov. It's a federal government website that provides information on bullying, including resources for getting help and support. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That's some good information there. Didn't know that. Okay. So, what are the key takeaways from this class? What did you guys get from the class?
I learned that anybody can be bullied.
Okay.
If you think you can't be bullied, just stay around.
Okay.
You'll see.
Okay.
And bullying is a national problem.
That's right.
Report it.
Okay.
They don't help, go higher.
Okay. And what else? Tell me what else did you
They
get?
didn't help.
I know it was a lot to unpack, but there's some good stuff you guys said. So what else you got from this?
And make sure nobody can control you.
Okay.
Because that's part of bullying too.
Okay. Okay.
You keep your self-worth and your independence and everything to yourself.
Okay.
To make sure that you keep it, because if you lose it, it's hard to get it back.
Okay. 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 What else? Anybody has anything else?
Know your rules. Know your resources.
Yes. 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 The importance of recognizing, addressing adult bullying, the role of individuals and in organizations in prevention, and encouraging a culture of respect and support. Because we didn't really mention respect before, because that's something that they are violating when they're bullying you. They don't respect you. So that's why it's easy for them to bully you. Okay. All right. So,
Lord.
So are there any questions and discussions on this? Because this was a class.
It was a good
Can
session.
someone sue for that?
Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it mentioned legal assistance. Okay. Yes. Anything else? Any more questions? Any more answers? Anybody want to say anything else? You all get an A. Yeah, they did wonderful. Thank you for participating in the Road to Greatness class.
Thank you.
Talking about adult bullying. You guys did an excellent job. Yes. Okay. All right. So we're going to take a break. We're finished. We're going to take a break, and then you guys, we have to switch over, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all can go home for right now and take about a 15-minute break, and then we'll come back. Can we be frank? Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So you guys, let me go ahead and stop sharing here. Okay. All right. You guys, that was a wonderful class. Wonderful. Thank you. We are so happy that we did this. We will definitely be Road to Greatness. We'll be bringing some more classes like this. Adult bullying was very important to me because I know, a lot of people have experienced that. And I really know that we have to make sure we know what to do in a time of when someone is in recognizing adult bullying. It is so important. And once you recognize it, how to deal with it from here on out. And I gave you guys one of my experience. I've had plenty more, but that one keeps sticking in my head because it was like not too long ago, maybe about 10 10 years ago. And it just sticks there that I remember that person, that nurse that was trying to make my life miserable. Okay. And it was affecting my interaction with my patients. I never was disrespectful to my patients because I love my veterans, but they were seeing things, and I didn't like the idea that what she was doing it in front of the patients, and it was not conducive. So I knew that what I had to do was to leave, and that's what I did because they were not going to move her, so I wound up moving. So, but and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. So I'm glad you guys came and hung out with us here on the Road to Greatness. This is part of our You Can't Clip My Wings. You guys have been great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want you guys to have a great evening, and we shall see you soon. I will be bringing back more classes similar to this. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.